Hello and welcome to Mission Backlog. Portal 2 is the second review in this backlog playlist series, and for those that don't have a Scooby-Doo what a backlog playlist is, check out this video and I'll also put a link in the description. Portal 2 is developed by Valve and is the follow-up to the smash hit Portal, which took the gaming world by storm with its unique and tight puzzle platforming with surprisingly strong story elements to boot. Now, to surpass the original was an almost impossible feat in my opinion, but I'm happy and very surprised to say I think they've pulled it off. With improvements across the board, from the creativity in the puzzles to the hilarious writing and superb voice acting from Steve Merchant for Wheatley and Ellen McLain for GLaDOS. I've been meaning to play this game for years, with the original Portal being one of my favourite games on the Xbox 360. I played this game via my physical Xbox 360 version running through the Series X. I don't have an exact time, but I think it took me around 9 hours to beat, and then I dove back in and did some of the more interesting achievements and Easter eggs. Now, the story is where some people may be surprised, as at first glance you may fairly assume this is just a simple puzzle game. But as they say, never judge a book by its cover, or in this case, a game. There is a brilliant, expertly written story to complement the puzzle gameplay, which gives extra meaning to everything you are doing. I would even go so far as to say the story elements, especially the hilarious writing, are on par, if not better, than the gameplay. I was always eagerly looking forward to the next put down from GLaDOS, or the next comedic blunder from Wheatley. You play as Shell, or Chell, I'm not sure which, effectively an anonymous protagonist, as you have no dialogue and only catch glimpses of yourself through the wonders of the portal gun. Spoiler warning: at the end of Portal 1, you take down GLaDOS, an evil supercomputer who's taken over a mysterious facility that you woke up in and has been making you complete increasingly dangerous tests with the inevitable outcome of your death. After taking her down, you find yourself at the surface, outside the facility, though in one of the final scenes of the game you are being dragged backwards by an off-screen entity. At the beginning of Portal 2, you wake up back inside the facility, which is falling apart. Wheatley, a charming, if rather useless robot, voiced by Steve Merchant, starts to help you escape. Though after not too long, mistakes are made and you end up reawakening GLaDOS, and all hell kicks off again, with her putting you back into the testing chambers with a not so subtle thirst for vengeance. I won't spoil anything for Portal 2 in this review, but you go on a whirlwind of a journey from there, exploring previously unseen corners of the facility and uncovering some hidden truths. The fact that you are seemingly the only human left, and that you don't even know how you ended up there, adds an element of mystery to the game that I love. So the core of the gameplay, as you might expect, is the portal gun, which enables you to create two portals that connect to each other, allowing yourself or objects to pass through them. Now, this sets up a whole range of options, from simply accessing areas unreachable on foot, to creating the momentum necessary to clear gaps or extreme heights. Because of the locomotion this mechanic creates, the game effectively becomes a puzzle platformer, often requiring precision jumps and timing to be successful. Now, this is just straight up fun, and solving a puzzle you've been stuck on for a while is also incredibly satisfying. The level of creativity with this one mechanic alone would have been enough to keep me hooked for the duration of the game, though they also add in additional elements, such as gels that affect movement speed, tractor beams, and walkways of light that can double up as barriers against turrets. The pacing is perfect throughout the game. Just when you're starting to master certain mechanics, a new one will be thrown at you, forcing you to think in new ways once again. This means that even after 9 hours with the game, I wasn't tired of the puzzles being thrown at me. Now, I know difficulty is a subjective thing, and this will change for everyone, but I found this to be just about right. I found most of the puzzles forced me to think, though I was rarely stuck for too long, aside from a couple of occasions, and they were always fair. The variety of locations you encounter are impressive as well. It's not just all sterile test chambers, but some behind the scenes locations that switch it up to a more organic human feel. Now, there is a whole element of the game that I haven't experienced, and that's the co-op. I've heard it's one of the best co-op experiences you can have, though I can't speak on it for now. Just know that it isn't needed to enjoy the game. The single player is exceptional by itself. Visually, the game is okay and holds up pretty well. I'd say this is the only area that could have been improved, as it's running on the same engine Valve used for Half-Life 2, a game released in 2004, 7 years prior to this game. It's not something that detracts too much from the game, and the textures and lighting are fine, it's just not a standout for me. When it comes to sound, however, the voice acting in this game is second to none, with superb performances from Steve Merchant as Wheatley and Ellen McLean as GLaDOS.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped, but never mind.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that. Science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep.
The comedic flair is superb and excellently delivered, and there's a song in the final credits sung by GLaDOS that deserves a Grammy. I'm joking, but not really. The music is a mashup of synthwave and rock. It does a great job of upping the tension at key moments of the story, and provides a solid backdrop for general gameplay. It's not a soundtrack I'll be adding to my Spotify library, but it fits the game's setting well and enhances many moments of the gameplay. I played on the Xbox Series X, and it ran buttery smooth throughout, and felt amazing flying through portals. I did experience one glitch on a second playthrough, so not a common occurrence, where I got stuck in place and had to reload a save file. But apart from that, nothing. As I said at the beginning, I can't believe how much this game improved upon the first Portal, with near perfect gameplay and utterly brilliant writing and performances. I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't enjoy this game, and I can't recommend it strongly enough. Definitely play the first Portal as well, and you have one of the best duologies in gaming. I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10, only held back by the slightly dated visuals. This playlist is going great so far. We have Nobody Saves the World Before This, a game I thoroughly enjoyed, and Spider-Man on the PS4 is up next, which I have high expectations for, and it will be nice to return to a modern AAA open world game. I think the backlog playlist is doing its job of giving me plenty of variety in my gaming these days, and feel free to subscribe if you want to keep up with the backlog playlist reviews. Thank you for watching, and please drop a like if you've enjoyed the video, it does help out a lot. I hope you all have a great day. Now on to the next one.